The great thing with this program is I've used it with Knowledge First. I've used it with my first graders here at school for almost 2 years now. And what's great for me as a teacher is being able to look at the results of the tests. I can get a printout for each child. I can see how far they've gone along the program, and I can see specifically on one program if they're struggling in sounds or letter recognition, if they're struggling with shapes, and it allows me to watch them if they go back and repeat it. If they're still struggling, I know that I need to pull them out. I need to work with them in small groups, one-on-one. If they're seeing a different teacher for reading, to let that teacher know that they're having a specific problem, and we can customize basically where their deficiency is and work on it. And there might be a reason for it. It allows us to look into that. On the flip side of that, I can also see where the children are accelerating and great gains are making. After they pass a little hump where they get the sounds and the letters down, they can go to word recognition and then just keep going on from there. And having taught first grade as many years as I have, it's kind of a neat process because it's children learning to read. Once they master all the letters and sounds, it's just a matter of time until the light bulb comes on and it clicks and they take off. And that's a wonderful thing to see them learn and do. And this program allows me to see where they're struggling. And having taught as long as I have, I've got just a bag of tricks in addition to this program where I can back up and reteach something. And it lets me know if a child's going to be learning, they learn a lot more visually, I'm going to be doing that kind of learning for them to help them. And I can also tailor my program around it and send home supplemental materials to parents. It's really made a great gains for my children, and I see that they've come a lot farther academically with this program this year than they did last year. We're getting more time in the program, and I'm also tailoring my teaching to it, so it's really helping a lot.
A bee.
Corn is grown on this farm and is a tasty treat to eat.
Knowing the program better, being that this is the second year I'm using it, using the charts and reading those charts and seeing where the kids are. There's some that I know that can keep going, but the ones that are struggling, a lot of times they're my children that are ELL, English as a second language child, and they don't have the language yet. And so I know that I need to back up and reteach certain areas so that when they're retaking the test again, they are more successful. And it specifically breaks things down so I can see where the problem is and what we need to work on. He stays focused a lot more on any project because he's able to understand language more now, and he would jump from activity to activity just around the house or trying to get him to do his homework. He couldn't stay focused long enough. I had to constantly redirect him. And being that his language has increased, he has it focused a lot more. He will spend more time reading books than he did before. Playing a game as a family. A few minutes into Candyland or Chutes and Ladders, he'd be gone. And now he understands the concepts of it. He's anticipating whose turn is next, and he's understanding it a lot more than I've seen him do in the past. And a little bit of it is developmental, but a large part of it there again is his language delay. It's closed the gap where he had a big gap before. So I've seen that help him. And as far as being forgetful, I see him remembering things. Oh, I forgot my backpack. I got to go get it. I didn't hang that up. Before, he just was willy-nilly and just, took off. And he's remembering things, processes that he's learned, concepts that are brought apart in the program he'll bring out without me saying it. Oh, his spelling has really improved, too.
Austin, and now spell my name. Austin. Prince. Prince.
He started off having just regular spelling words like the other first graders, and now instead of having 8 words, he has 13 words, and he's getting the 3 bonus words correct each week, and he's writing the sentences out in completion with the conventions, the capital letter, the spaces, and the periods. And his teacher has just been amazed that he's been getting 103, 104% on his spelling test, at least for the last month now. We've sent them to Grandma in the mail. She's quite proud of him and puts them on the refrigerator. Well, he does share his feelings more. He didn't say much before, and he does share his feelings. I'm upset, or I'm excited, or I really want to do this. He's talking a lot more. We recently joined Tiger Scouts as a recommendation from his autism spectrum counselor, and I see him. One thing she discussed is to talk about before we went and did an activity, what to watch for. Watch them, how close you are to them, watch their face, and then to kind of go back over that afterwards. And I see him using that a lot more. I see him watching the children's reactions where he wasn't a parent of that before. He will follow their lead. Before, he would tend to want to play by himself. He was content to play with a stick over here, and the boys would take off running. I see him joining in more, and that's real exciting. I see him initiating play and coming up with ideas. He would tend to just follow along, and I see him sometimes taking the lead now. And with the group of boys he was with, they were playing pirates, and he brought up the idea of a stick with a sword, and then they all were doing it. So that was out of character for him, and that choked me up a bit to see him do that and all the kids fall in and him being accepted, because that was one of my heart-wrenching things, is the fact that, having been a teacher, seeing children ostracized, or sometimes if they act differently due to whatever reason, being left out. And I see Austin starting to make those connections, so that's awesome. It's really good. Makes me happy.